1996, former Secretary of Defense William Perry finally admitted the existence of the base. This was televised by Channel 13 in Las Vegas.
We do have a military operation going on at Groom Lake, highly classified and highly important to U.S. security.
Satellite photos of the base show the world's longest runway. The length is about 30,000 feet, almost 6 miles. Space shuttles could be landed at either end simultaneously, roll to a halt without brakes or parachutes, and still be separated by a mile. It is generally known that in the past, the base played an integral role in the development of several generations of U.S. spy planes. The U-2, the most sensational Cold War weapon. The SR-71, otherwise known as the Blackbird. The B-2 Spirit, the controversial invisible stealth bomber. And the currently rumored Aurora, a self-propelled aircraft said to have the abilities to penetrate the atmospheric envelope and return to Earth unaided. Nine miles south of the control tower of Area 51 lies Papoose Lake. Its dry lakebed can only be reached by dirt road. This is reportedly the site of 9 heavily camouflaged hangars, alleged to contain several highly unconventional aircraft, described by those who claim to have seen them as flying saucer-like. According to several informed individuals, military and civilian, these aircraft were recovered UFOs. Reverse engineering, the process by which an advanced system may be used as a learning model for another, has given rise to these state-of-the-art aircraft. A great number and variety of people have come forward bearing witness to having seen them in flight over and around the base. Author and astronomer Chuck Clark has lived near the secret facility for the past 4 years, researching activity at the base for his remarkable Area 51 and S4 handbook. He watched the base from Whitesides and Freedom Ridge with a high-powered telescope until it was closed to the public.
I saw at first what I thought was an aerial illumination flare that was shot up from the area just south of the base at Area 51. It rose upwards from the hills and ascended to about 2,000-foot elevation and then hung motionless for several minutes. As it started slowly descending, it got down about 30 or 40 feet above the ground and hovered motionless for a couple of minutes, or well, not a couple of minutes, maybe about a minute. And then suddenly it shot without warning all along the base of the hills over here to a point in front of the higher hills. It did that movement in about 1 to 1.5 seconds. That is just under 5 miles measured distance, and that makes the speed something between 9,000 and 14,000 miles an hour based on those times. After it hovered for maybe 4 or 5 more seconds, it just vanished in place. But it did cast a glow on the ground, which means it wasn't a holographic projection. It wasn't a trick of some sort. It's unusual that you get something where, you know, I had range. I was able to figure the speed. The speed calculated out to somewhere between 9 and a little over 14,000 miles an hour, depending on whether it was a second or a second and a half. That's the only estimate in the equation.
Sightings of a similar object have been reported all over the world for many years. English pilot Michael Gardner was flying over Heligoland, Europe in 1975.
I was in an aircraft very similar to this one. This is a 421, it was a 414. And sitting there on autopilot, beautiful night, very, very clear. And all of a sudden, I noticed a glow on the top of the panel here, and it was a red glow. And I looked forward right up through here, and somewhere above the aircraft was this red glowing ball. And it was a dull red color. It was like a burgundy color, but it was very bright because I remember squinting. The object stayed there probably for 15 or 20 seconds. Shortly afterwards, it just accelerated ahead of me. I mean, just extraordinary speed. Straight out ahead of the aircraft, climbing, turn, and then just completely disappeared. And I think I was with Amsterdam, talking to Amsterdam, and I called them, said, do they have any contacts other than myself? And it was negative. Do they have any military activity? It was negative.
Could you hear any engines or any sound?
No sound whatsoever. There was no effect on the aircraft. There was no wake. There was nothing. It was a very cold night, and that was it.
People need to give it some serious thought. Too many credible people have reported things that are just impossible by our understanding of physics.